And this boy just stopped in front of me, looked me dead in the eyes, and said, "I can save myself." But hold on, let's back up a little. Since when I can remember myself, I always had a very interesting method of asking directions. My family lived near Tian Shan mountain range, which is in Central Asia, and sometimes we would go for like a family hikes in the mountains, in the woods, and sometimes the road would split into three paths. And I remember just standing there in front of that junction and just feeling, where should I go? And how does it feel like to choose the direction? And it was not about choosing the right one, it was more about the experience. If you take this one, it might be faster but more steep. If you take this one, maybe it will take you longer, but it's more relaxed. And now moving on to my teenage years, when my life was completely dominated by fear and anxiety. And I was still trying to listen to that quiet inner voice who would tell me to dare, to try, to risk, to dream. And I did many great things, including moving out from my family at the age of 14 to another country. Also, for example, I was mortified to speak in front of people to the point that it negatively affected my grades. But I became a martial art teacher, and that became my job, to stand in front of people every single day. And my students became champions and teachers. And I'm telling all that just to show to the extent that my life changed just because I was listening to that voice when I myself was just paralyzed from fear, and I wanted to just stay in my house and not seeing anyone and don't talk to anyone. And now moving on to the next stage of my life. The more I learn about how world works, how to calm my own mind, the calmer my mind got, the clearer and louder the voice became. And I did came across this topic like half of my life ago about spiritual guides and channeling, and I thought people are so stupid. Even when I was a teenager, I was like, people are just gonna listen to whatever they're fed. And it's ridiculous. People cannot be serious that they actually believe those things. Well, needless to say, the events of my life kind of led me to change my perspective on that a little bit, but I'm still not completely sold on that. And now we're back in present time to the events that unfolded last Friday. There is this park 10 minutes away from my home. I go there almost every day for a few months already, and I usually have my headphones and my hat, sending a clear signal that I'm not really open for casual conversation, and the most you can get from me beside a smile or a wave, maybe hi. And I must say that recently, for past again few months, I am dealing with some challenges, and my rather dark perspective on the life are kind of dawning back on me. And one of the few ways that I'm choosing to deal with it is to listen to licensed clinicians and the nurturing power of nature, hence walking in the park. And all of a sudden, completely unrelated to the topic I was listening to by a licensed clinician, I repeat, I feel an urge to just stop and reach out to spiritual guides, to the universe, to my higher self. I don't care how you call that. It's not important for me personally. I felt very, very emotionally driven. I spoke from the depth of my heart, almost tearfully, and I felt like I really want to drop on my knees, but I didn't want to cause any kind of drama. And I was saying things like, I'm lost. I don't really know whether the course of my actions I'm taking are actually right ones, correct ones. And it feels like what I was thinking should work is not really working. So I need to adjust, and I'm not sure what exactly needs to be adjusted. I need a clear sign. I need a clear guidance. I need clear direct message. And from the moment when I ask that to whatever happens next, maybe 30, 40 seconds passed. I see a little boy in front of me on the bicycle with his helmet with black mohawk on it. Very interesting. He's maybe 6, 7, 8 years old. I don't really know. And I saw him before, just, 5-10 minutes ago. He was playing with his parents, playing basketball. Right now he's in front of me and he's hopping from it and stepping aside to let me pass. I'm not sure why exactly. I think there's enough room for us to pass each other without disturbing anyone. So I decide to say him, thank you for letting me pass. Thank you for waiting on me. And this is the moment where he looks me dead in the eye and calmly says, do you know there is a river over there? And if you just go there and sit and listen to the sound of the water is very, very calming. To say that I was shocked, it would be understatement. Almost tearfully, I told him, okay, I'm gonna go immediately. And I do have a favorite rock over there. I do sit there quite often, but because recently there was a lot of rain, I couldn't really cross the river. But I decided to take my shoes off. I crossed the river, I sat there calmly, just, taking it in. And I do understand that a lot of my problems come from rumination, excessive thinking, and just overthinking. I needed that moment to just sit down, feel the present moment, feel my body, feel my breathing, look at the reality. And I always went to choose reality between my expectations, between my ideals, my ideas about how things should be, how whatever should happen. I always want to choose reality. But it's hard to accept it sometimes. We keep thinking, and thinking sometimes does not reflect reality. So from that past Friday, my mood completely shifted. I feel so inspired to move on. But anyway, I'm speaking so much about my own experience. I would like to know about your experience. Have you ever asked? Do you even dare to ask, or you think it's completely batshit crazy? I know that many people are afraid to ask because they're not sure if it's like good or bad influence are coming to them. And I always have like a moral guidance in front of me. If whatever I'm listening to, I think would bring more calmness, understanding, peace, and compassion to me and others, then I'm gonna listen to that. I personally never receive that, but if it's like one-sided, I'm gonna have a benefit and others will, suffer from that, then definitely it's not a very good choice. Anyway, tell me all what you think about it. 'Cause I will make mistakes.